Nicholas Racz, Keystate Capital. We are members of LFDT now, have been more than a year. I'm personally a member of the steering committee of Trust over IP. And we just, by the way, ratified the 3 KERI specs. They're being announced today, which is great. Again, it's just showing the maturation of what we've been investing in now for over 5 years now. That's a really substantial question. If I can dig deep, I would say, and be vulnerable, I think a lot of the, when we started off as an entity, as Keystate Capital, we were quite new into equity investing. We knew what we wanted. We wanted to seed the KERI ecosystem, right? And to see that flourish. But a lot of our understanding of what it actually takes to bring not just a company, but an entire infrastructure stack from 0 to 1 is a massive undertaking. Right? And you need so much support, not just from entities like LFDT or even within the team, but also like from institutions like Glyph, from application verticals like telco. Well, a huge win for us this year was actually getting the GSMA to recognize that they have a substantial spam call problem, which they probably recognize, but to recognize that this is the right solution for it. We're having an open verifiable calling. It's part of the GSMA Foundry, which is this essentially a laboratory for GSMA to test solutions. It essentially fixes the problems of cryptographic attestation that exist in the RCD and stir-shaken protocols that comprise telco, right? Because you need to have real dossiers, cryptographic dossiers of attestable identity. Like, who are you? Who do you represent? Why are you calling, right? We have no way of actually resolving that as it currently stands, but with KERI and with what Provenant is building, leading this open verifiable calling initiative, I think this is gonna be a really cool inception event to demonstrate that this identity layer, right? This identity, we call it the trust spanning protocol. Spanning protocol is finally here. And the really cool part, it doesn't stop at one vertical, right? These primitives, just like IP, they transcend verticals, right? You see IP going everywhere to transmit information. You're gonna see KERI everywhere to transmit trust, right? There's a lot of assumptions, I think, that blockchain companies make that they're administrating trust within their own domains and that they have to maintain their barriers and their securities, let alone like traditional companies and infrastructure, right? And it's just not the right approach. You have to have a common language where people can understand what is secure and what isn't, and how, and this is the thing we're actually on the cusp of really formalizing, how you bring people from lower levels of assurance to the highest level of security possible, right? And then that's when the game starts. This stuff on the sides, we have been like cavemen, banging sticks together in terms of our information security. We're getting to a point where I think it's demonstrating how robust it is. What is trivial? What can you spread? Like for example, Anthropic donating MCP as a standard to the Linux Foundation. Huge, changed everything, right? That one decision, right, opened up an entire marketplace toward this. And they know why they did this. And I mentioned this on stage. It's like open source is a weapon for even companies that aren't open source themselves. I think a lot of people are actually afraid of taking ownership of their own lives, because it's a painful thing to have light shine on you when you're used to being in the dark. And we talk about privacy, of course it's important, right? But if you sacrifice authenticity for privacy, and this is actually one of the biggest problems we have to discuss in this ecosystem, is that we are overly emphasizing privacy at the expense of security. And I don't mean security like national security. I'm saying like fundamental concepts that can be applied in order to make your life more intact. Because when you look at the priority matrix, privacy emerges from security. It's not a core tenet. So again, when we're talking about people like being afraid of new technologies, they've always been afraid of something new. I was afraid of it too, until I realized, look, I can't be afraid of it. I've just got to go into it. And the less fearful you can go into it, the more empowered you're going to be. Face your fears.